This time, I'd like to welcome everyone to the November Elizabethton Board of Education meeting. At this time, I will call on Director Mr. Van Huss to lead us in a moment of silence and pledge to the flag.
Please stand. Please pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, at this time, it is time to approve the consent agenda and regular agenda. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Motion and a second?
Second.
Second. Anything need to be moved to the regular? Any questions about anything at this time? Okay, seeing none, the motion is to approve the consent and regular agenda. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? And there are none. It's now time for citizens to speak. We did not have anyone make the request to speak, so we'll move on to special recognitions. The first recognition, I'd like to introduce a couple of people from the Tennessee College of Applied Technology, our Vice President of Facilities and Finance, Ms. Crystal Fink, and Gwen Widener, who is our dual enrollment coordinator. So if y'all will come and make your presentation. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us tonight. We are very excited to be here to present this award. Elizabethton Schools has been able to snatch the Silver Award for Dual Enrollment Partnership with Tennessee College of Applied Technology. Just a little bit about our partnership. We do have embedded dual enrollment in several programs of study: advanced manufacturing, which is STEM and robotics; automotive technology. We have computer information technology and building construction technology, where students acquire the technical college credit. And we just want to expand on that. We want to continue to grow, so we thank you for that partnership. We also, just in case you don't know, students as early as 9th grade now have dual enrollment funding that is provided through THEC. And they can achieve up to 1,296 clock hours, which is a full certificate with us, so we're very excited about that. We have established articulation agreements with Northeast State Community College. So students, we started with welding. If students come to us and receive a technical certificate, they can then transition, if they choose, to go on to Northeast State, take core classes, and they will take all of our welding credits, and then the students can receive an associate's degree. So we're very excited about that. We'll continue to expand. We've also invested, TCAT Elizabethton has invested over $200,000 to install this state-of-the-art STEM lab at Elizabethton High School. It's been a model for the region, so we're very excited about that. And then for our dual enrollment programs, we also want to give back. So at this time, we have reimbursed a little over $6,000 for fall 2023 for those partnerships. So we're, again, thank you so much for letting us be here. If we could have a photo op, Brian, if you'll come up, and I think some of your instructors are here. Eddie, Mr. Van Huss.
are thankful to the school, the TCAT, for a job and where I work there, but we appreciate what they do for our students. So just kind of leave it at that. But thank you all again for being here. Next, I'll turn it over to Mr. Van Huss for a couple of other announcements. Just so you know, too, once we do the recognitions, we will give the opportunity for you all, the ones that don't want to stay, to leave if you want to. So just hang on till we get through with these recognitions, and then we'll dismiss you.
So at this time, we would ask Coach Campbell and Coach Presnell if they'll come up, and they're going to share some information about our cross-country teams and their outstanding seasons this year.
So thank you all for having us. I just can't really state how proud I am of these kids, and if you all want to go ahead and come up here, the boys and girls from our cross-country teams. So some of them, one thing that you'll notice about cross-country runners is that they do everything. That's one of the first things I've noticed is we've got some that are in the band, some that are in swimming that wasn't able to make it here tonight because they've got swim meets, some doing basketball, all of them working. So all of these kids work so hard. They're able to do all of this and run 6 days a week. And cross country is a 6-day-a-week sport. You only get to really rest 1 day a week, and sometimes not even that. So these kids worked hard for a great season and put together a great season. For some of these seniors, the boys, this is the third time of going to state meet in a row. The girls, this is their second time going to the state meet in a row. The boys won conference, and the girls were runner-up. The boys won regionals, and the girls ended up getting third place. The competition at the state meet is amazing. Just knowing what they're going up against, seeing what they're going up against, and to be able to place 4th for the boys and 11th for the girls is amazing. Last year, the boys placed 4th with an average time of 18:14, and this year they placed 4th again, but they upped their average time to 17:19, which is a huge jump, huge jump in running. The girls, last year they placed 22nd place. This year they placed 11th, and their average time last year was 25:07. Their average time this year is 22:17, which another huge jump. So proud of these kids. 9 of our 14 runners at state PR'd, so they got their personal record out there at state, which was a tough course. It was dry, had a couple tough hills to it, and the kids just did an amazing job. We had one, Riley Vernon, who broke the school record, got 16:34, and also had a 12th place finish that made him all-state. We haven't had a male all-state runner since 2009, and we haven't had a female all-state runner since 2015, 16. So just really proud of the way this season has went and the hard work that all these kids have put in. They did a great job.
All right, thank you.
Coaches, will you slide in the picture as well, please?
Great job, guys. Great job.
And I'll just encourage you, if you've never been to a cross-country meet, you need to go because it's much more intense than you would think it is. You may just think, well, they're just going out there and run. Oh, no. It is worth the price of admission for sure. So thank you very much. At this time, if we could have Mr. Valentine to come forward and we're going to share some good news about our band. Yes, please. Now, normally the band, that's the best group to get organized for a picture. So we'll see if that holds true. No pressure.
Yeah, so thank you for having us tonight. This is a group of leaders and seniors of the Betsy Band for the 2023 season. Our season always starts in July, right before school starts. We have a leadership camp where we go through some leadership training, which we're really excited about developing that program, as we have some truly fantastic students at Elizabethton. And the Betsy Band is the place where, you know, we get to grow and become better human beings, and I'm super proud to be their director. So our season, you know, it was a little bit of an odd one. Didn't have a lot of home games to get to perform at. We had a lot of freshmen, which was great because, you know, we just had a lot of really awesome students at the middle school that wanted to continue to be a part of the band. So, you know, we had to train them up and get them ready, and then by the end of the year, this band was outrageously good. I mean, really and truly. To speak about the seniors a little bit, and most of the students that are up here are 3-year members or older. They have been finalists at 3 different regional competitions, finishing second at a Western Carolina regional 2 years ago, finishing 4th at a Bands of America regional last year, finishing 11th at a Bands of America regional this year. They're 5-time grand champions. They won 5 overall local contests since they've been in the band. And then this year, of course, we got off to a little bit of a slower start. But at the end of the day, one of the things that was a hallmark of this show was it was hard. It was really hard, and it was harder than anything we had pushed them to do in the past. We took some different risks in different ways, and it paid off because, once again, they were truly incredible by the end of the year. And they came home as the defending state champions and won it again this year in 2023. And so these students have also now been a part of, our color guard has been a part of 3 overall state championships in the past 3 years. Our percussion have won the state championship the last 2 years. Our drum majors won once in their time. Zeta won once in her time, and Cooper was a part of that as well. And then, of course, they've won 2 state championships now, and including this year in 2023 by over 2 points, which was definitely our biggest margin of victory that we've had at this contest. And so we're ridiculously proud of them. These students are obviously only a fraction of the students that are a part of the band program. We had over 150 students a part of the band program this year, which is pretty crazy for a school of about 875 students. And so it's a truly special organization within a truly special district, and I thank the school board for your support, and thank for Mr. Van Huss and Dr. Minton for your support, and for all the athletic coaches that share our students in the fall for your support and your help, and just such a great town to be the band director in, because it's just such a special place. So I give to you a small representation of the 2023 Betsy Band and the state championship 2023 Betsy Band.
Thank you all. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Again, the reason we do these recognitions are because we have so many special students that just make our community so proud. So we're so thankful for, again, the directors, the leadership, the coaches, the parents that get them there, get them back, just everything. And just for the students, again, there are a lot of things high school students can be doing other than running the Tweetsie Trail or marching on Saturday mornings out by the track, but you choose to do it because of things like this. So thank you for being a champion. So at this time, we will give you the opportunity. Now, if you want to stay, we always say you're more than welcome. We completely understand if you have more important things to do, but we have to stay. So if you need to leave at this time, go ahead and we'll take just a minute or two and then we'll come back.
Oh, man. I don't think this is much our cup of tea. Not a big one for public speaking, so. May not.
Out the back door. Mr. Van Huss.
Are you talking about the parade of like champions? I mean, Dr. Minton told me about it and like forwarded me the email, just in case, but he wasn't sure if you were speaking on it. Mom always sends a live stream like meetings to my nana. She lives in North Carolina, and so every time I turn the meeting, my nana calls me to do.
Okay, we'll go ahead at this time. It is time for the director's update, so I'll turn it over again to Mr. Van Huss so he can share with us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Pless. First of all, let me start by saying thank you to all the veterans across the country and here locally at home. We had a great Veterans Day program at the War Memorial there in downtown Elizabethton, and our Naval Cadet Corps presented colors there and did a fantastic job. And so again, we just thank all those veterans for all they did and their service to our country. As we wrap up fall extracurriculars, we had some tremendous things. You've seen many of those groups here represented today. And as you know, it's that time to transition into winter activities, and so certainly want to encourage people to come out and support those as those begin to start play. Things continue to move forward, continues to move in a positive direction. So looking forward to that as well. We've had some real issues with that roof, especially recently, and so that's long overdue as well. The T.A. Duggar project, if you've not had a chance to go by there, it's looking fantastic. The majority of the outside work is completed. All the concrete's poured, steps in. They are fitting now those steps for handrails and things like that. On the inside, the sheetrock's up, and they're finishing all of that work. It's going to be a huge addition to that school as well. So if you've not had a chance to get by there, please do so. The Union Pharmacy Building, the C deck, they've started work there on the water line and new sewer lines and the new lines for the new locations for the restrooms. And so once that gets started, we'll be able to go in and start laying out walls and things like that. So project, that one continues to move forward. I've mentioned this several different times. I think that we'll have an amount not to exceed cost for the training facility at the high school for you to consider next month. Just finishing up a few things there, trying to get that closer to the budget that we had set aside, so be more to share with you on that as well. I wanted to announce that we're excited that we, for the second time in about the last 5 years, we have been awarded a COPS grant. And what our plan is to do with that grant, it's a $458,000 grant. And there's a matching portion for us as well, but we're focusing on two things: interior doors in schools, as well as ballistic film for glass doors and windows. And so we're finalizing the details for that. We'll have something for you to consider as far as a contract approval for that work in December as well. We're working with Central Technologies on that. They gave us the original quote that we used to apply, and it helped us apply for that grant. So I wanted to just say a special thanks to Nicole Moore, Beth Wilson, Mr. Boatman, and the rest of the staff that helped us put that grant together. Again, that's a substantial amount. The one before was very similar. So you're talking just somewhere around $900,000 in grant funding we've received from this that's gone directly into making our schools safer. So we'll have more information on that next week, or next month, excuse me. But again, excited about that opportunity again to make the schools even that much safer. So that is my report.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Van Huss. Now, board members' reports. I don't know if anyone has anything yet. We may this time next month, but is there anything going on that anybody wants to share? Okay, we will be attending again in Nashville, the state convention. Be leaving Thursday morning, so I'm sure we'll have some things to share in December. Now, Mr. Simmerly, City Council Liaison, come and share with us.
Thank you for this evening. I've only got one really thing on my list from our meeting last week from City Council, and it was our vote and our approval. We had unanimous vote approval for the Joe O'Brien Field replacement of the artificial turf for the infield. I know you guys voted on it, I think it was last month or a couple of months ago.
Last month or one before?
Yeah, one before that. But we voted this past Thursday night, and we approved it unanimously. So it looks like we're all on board. We're excited about that. I did have to give a little poke to City Council, because when we go through our meetings, like you guys go through your meetings, our city attorney, if you've not been to a City Council meeting, our city attorney does what Mr. Van Huss does. He explains a little bit, just a brief detail and overview of what we're voting on. And one of the things was new seating behind home plate. So I had to poke at Attorney Day and say, well, finally, I've had season tickets down there for about 8 years. We're finally going to have some new seats to replace the seating we sit on. It's not new seating. It's a seating. We're putting in a new knee wall behind home plate, pulling the out about 15 feet toward home plate, and they're going to put the little seating like we have now, the aluminum seating that they have on the sides. We're putting that in. It'll look a lot better. We're putting new netting in, as you guys know. I'm sure you got the packet as well, but we are excited about that. Additionally, Mr. Van Huss, I want to really tell you how much the city appreciates you and your staff for all the hard work you've done this week. I don't know if it's a secret or not, what's going on Saturday night.
It's not a secret.
Okay.
It's official.
Okay. But we are excited. It was, I'm proud to be with the city. And you guys know every time I come up here before you to talk, from we called it our all hands on deck when we took over the golf course here a week and a half ago. And we had a county department down there mowing. We had, everyone mowing, and we had everyone working the golf course. Well, this week, if you've not heard, Mr. Van Huss and all his team, it was an all hands on deck working with the city to put this parade together for Saturday night. So again, we're very appreciative, because there's a lot of people involved in that. So we're all excited about it. I know we all wanted to get in line and get an autograph with Mr. Carter. We know that this wouldn't happen, but we're so proud. So proud of our school system, so proud of the athletes that come out of the system, and so excited to be a tiny part of it. So again, thank you. Appreciate all that you've done. And again, just the update on Joe O'Brien Field. Looks like we're a go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions on anything we voted on? Tweetsy Trail. We've got Franklin Club purchase, a lot of things going on with the city, but again, if you've got any questions, I'll be happy to call Kurt up and have him come in.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next, Miss Hannah, Student Liaison Report.
Yes, hello. So today I wanted to highlight some of the events that have taken place at the high school or are soon to happen. So the first of these is the STEM department's participation in BattleBots at UVA Wise this past weekend. They were awarded the Newcomer Rookie Award and will participate in a nationals qualifying competition in December. So this is a new program. We have new teachers, so just to see our students get involved in that so soon and get that award is really awesome to see. Next, I wanted to shout out the drama program and their production of Mean Girls. They have 3 more shows this coming weekend, and I would definitely encourage you to go see that. I got the opportunity to go watch it this past weekend. Lots of laughs. It was a really fun time to see all the hard work that the students and Miss Foster have put into the show. The second annual TuffyCon is happening this Saturday at the high school. And as Mr. Simmerly hinted at, the Parade of Champions is happening this Saturday at 6:15 in downtown. To recognize Evan Carter and his World Series win and the Betsy Band for their state championship. This will be a great time to represent our district and celebrate all the great things happening here. Lastly, as we all know, we're entering the busy holiday season. So with this time of year comes many events put on by our performing arts programs. So the first one is the Betsy Band and their Christmas concert at Seeger Chapel at Milligan University on December 7th. And the choral department will have their Christmas concert at First Baptist Church in Elizabethton on December 11th. The chorus department is also having the opportunity to go to Biltmore next Tuesday. We get to sing at the candlelight service. I think there's like 5 different shows that we get to sing at. And also Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week, 13 students from the high school auditioned and were accepted into All East. So I am one of those students, and we get to go to Lee University and sing for 3 days. It's an amazing opportunity, so I encourage you all to come out and support all of the activities that are going to be occurring in this next month.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Congratulations,
Yes.
too.
Thank you.
Very awesome.
One thing, if it's okay, I would like to mention again just about the Parade of Champions that she alluded to. The plan is for that parade to begin roughly about 15 minutes at the conclusion of the Fraser Fir Tree lighting, sponsored by Carter County Bank. We certainly want to encourage everyone to come out for both of these events. It's not an either or. We want to make sure that we've announced the start time for the parade between 6:15 and 6:30, but just wanted to reiterate to everyone that we're going to give everyone that wants to be there for the tree lighting an opportunity to make their way across the Elk Avenue Bridge and line up Elk Avenue, as well as students that will be participating in the parade. We'll give them all plenty of time to get back up there. So we don't want people to pick, well, I want to go to this, but I can't go to this. That's not the case at all. It's going to be an opportunity to really just celebrate, not only what a great community we have, but what makes a community are the people involved. So we're very excited about that and hope everyone will come out this Saturday night for a great evening. So.
Kind of funny that with so many people cutting fine arts and programs like that and just everything we've talked about tonight with chorus and drama and band and things like that, and then the fact that we'll always be able to say we have a World Series champion all happened kind of quickly. It's just really unique, just something special. So thank you, Hannah, and good luck in everything that you're participating in there. It's time to move on to the regular agenda. First item, approve the change order number 001 for the Harold McCormick construction project to include asbestos abatement and new ceiling tiles and lighting in the cafeteria at a cost of $112,923. Can I get a motion to approve? So move. And a second?
Second.
And have a second. Mr. Van Huss, any?
Yes, I'll give you a brief synopsis of what's going to be included in this change order. So work was initially included in the project to remove asbestos in the cafeteria and put in new lighting, new HVAC, and new ceiling tile, and as well as windows. So, but part of the VE that we did early on was to take that out and focus on that main hallway. Well, Ms. Wilson and I set aside some money in fund balance. We designated some funds for additional work to be done there at Harold McCormick, but we wanted to see how the project played out and make sure that we didn't need that in some other areas. We're far enough along in the project now where they're leapfrogging, doing remodeling 2 classrooms at a time. The contractor and Mr. Weems feel comfortable that, you know, there aren't any big surprises out there left in this project. And so it gave us an opportunity to really look at that. And this will be a huge improvement for the school. Just the fact that we're moving asbestos is great, but the new lighting in that space and what the current design was, because we VE'd those things out, they're going to put a new, there's already a new unit on the on the roof of the cafeteria, but the ductwork was going to be down one wall, and it was going to kind of hang down low, and it would be in front of the windows. This allows us, doing this work allows us to move it back to the middle of the building. So we have an opportunity to do that now. It still needs to be done. Why not do that now? We can also go back later as we get additional funding and go through there and change the windows, and then a new floor, and it's basically a new cafeteria. So I'd appreciate your consideration to approve this change order. The hope is that if it's approved, that they can go in there over the Christmas break and do all the abatement. And it might be similar for a few weeks to what we have in some of the classrooms where there's temporary lighting in there until we have an opportunity to finish that. In speaking with Mr. Wampler, there may even be a need during that stretch that they have lunch in the classroom for maybe 2 or 3 days to finish up some work, but he was confident that the staff and the students would adapt to that to be able to get this work finished. So, questions on the scope?
No. Any questions? Okay, no. Thank you, Mr. Van Huss. So we have a motion is to approve the change order number 001 for Harold McCormick Construction Project to include asbestos abatement and new ceiling tile and lighting in the cafeteria at a cost of $112,923. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion carries. Next item, approve purchase of multi-passenger vehicle using government contract pricing for an amount not to exceed $60,000 to be paid for with innovative school grant funds. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second? A second.
Okay, so there's 2 items here. I'll go ahead and speak to both of them if that's okay,
You want me
and
to-
then
Okay.
and then if you have questions on the other one,
Okay.
but so the Innovative Schools Grant, that's the funding that we received from the state. That was $1 million for each high school in the state of Tennessee and $500,000 for each middle school or junior high. And so part of that funding was to set aside a vehicle that would allow us, if we needed to transport students for different events, it could be for work-based learning opportunities where maybe the student doesn't have a car, and we have the ability to, this would give us the ability to help them with some transportation. So all kinds of opportunities and help that it will provide, assistance it will provide for transporting students in small groups. And again, this is all paid for out of that Innovative Schools grant, Innovative Schools Model Grant. The reason that it's flexible there is we're looking at 3 different vehicles. It's a Toyota Sienna, and then it's 2 different styles of Ford Explorers. And so we just can't get Mr. Colbert to make up his mind which one he wants. So no, a lot of it has to do with the funding as well and where he's comfortable, because we'll have to do some things to rewrite the grant to make sure that we can, if it's a little bit more, we may have to pull some money from a couple other places. So we're just if you approve this today, that gives him the flexibility to make that final decision and then make the purchase. And it's our understanding that these vehicles, unlike a lot of vehicles that are on government purchasing right now, some of them are 2 and 3 years out. You order it and you're not going to get it for 2 or 3 years. All 3 of these vehicles that we're talking about here have a much shorter, they'll be available in a much shorter time.
All right. The motion is to approve purchase of a multi-passenger vehicle using government contract pricing for the amount not to exceed $60,000 to be paid for with innovative school grant funds. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? And there are none. And I'll move on to the next one. We've heard some explanation. Approve purchase of a 2024 Toyota Sienna from Allen J. Fleet Sales using government contract pricing for an amount not to exceed $41,000 to be paid for with ARP homeless grant and general purpose funds. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second?
Second.
A second, all right.
So Mr. Hutchins gets the award over Mr. Colbert because he made his decision. So he is going with the Sienna minivan that's listed there at the price listed. And so again, that will allow opportunities. Sometimes when we have homeless students that come to our system and they've been relocated based on, you know, a situation at their home, sometimes it's very hard to get a bus. There's just not a bus that goes near those places, and sometimes it's in spaces that we can't even operate a bus. So having this smaller vehicle will allow us the ability to go in and make sure those students can get to school.
Any
Is Colbert
questions?
holding out for a Corvette? Is that what he's looking for?
I didn't see a Corvette in this packet, so I don't think.
A John Deere tractor?
Well, quality vehicles that they're looking at, so. Okay, the motion is to approve the purchase of a 2024 Toyota Sienna from Allen J. Fleet Sales using government contract pricing for an amount not to exceed $41,000 to be paid for with ARP homeless grant and general purpose funds. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. Next item, approve Central Technologies Incorporated to install new intercom system at T.A. Duggar Junior High School at a cost of $44,774.38, utilizing TIPS USA cooperative purchasing pricing. Can I get a motion to approve? And a second.
Second.
Okay.
So this item, if this situation hadn't developed when it did, we would have probably been asking for a ratification of this and completing this on an emergency basis. As you know, the intercom system is a key component of school safety, and we have to be able to communicate should there be a situation that we need to get word to everyone in the building. And the system at T.A. Duggar is on its last leg. They have basically band-aided that to the point there's, you know, it can't handle any more Band-Aids. I mean, so this would really modernize that system. It does not change wiring and speakers and things like that. It's just the central hub of all of that. It's going to be much more user-friendly from staff perspectives, where they can pinpoint certain announcements to certain portions of the building. All the administrators will have access to be able to make announcements as well. So we would appreciate your consideration on this, and I can promise you that I've been working with Mr. Wampler back there. There's similar issues going on there, but we're trying to wait till we get a little further down the road with the construction there to address that. So don't be getting any bright ideas back there. So.
And T.A. Duggar, that was an issue when I taught there 20 years ago. I mean, that was one of the biggest issues, was their intercom system. So I know that's
They do the
thrilling
same
for
one.
them.
I don't know
It
when
may
this
be.
was.
It probably is.
You never know how tough it is until yours goes out
That's right.
Oh, exactly.
and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So we've had that happen, didn't we
I
not?
think I remember someone ringing a bell in the hallway, literally ringing a bell.
That's
the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth.
Okay, so the item is to approve Central Technologies Incorporated to install a new intercom system at T.A. Duggar Junior High School at a cost of $44,774.38, utilizing TIPS USA cooperative purchasing pricing. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? And there are none. Next item, approve the 2025-2026 school calendar. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
And a second.
Second.
All right, got two. All right.
Say we may have to tell the calendar committee that it died for
Yeah,
lack of
lack
a
of a-
second.
yeah, lack of a
No.
Not ready to look into the future.
You know, about 3 years ago, we tried to get on a cycle that we would approve calendars, a full year in advance. I guess this is technically, a year, a full school and a half year in advance. So that's what you have before you. The calendar committee process has been the same that it's been for many, many years. There are 2 representatives on that committee from each school. The interactions with those groups is always fun to be a part of. Everyone has ideas, and we're able to hash those out, the pros and cons of everything. You know, at the end of the day, we have to have so many days of school every year. And what we do in between that is up to us, but, you know, that start and stop date will fluctuate. You know, the first day of school and the last day of school will fluctuate based on the days that we have off in between. So I want to thank Dr. Newman for her work in leading this group and helping corral them, you know, back into, okay, we're going to have to come up with a decision here. So we are again appreciative of their time and effort on this. The good thing about this calendar, there were some nuances about this one. You know, the first teacher day will be August the 4th, which is a few days later. We really tried to avoid starting on Friday the 1st for obvious reasons. And then when you look, it will push us to finish after Memorial Day, which in the past, you know, the past few years we've been able to get out prior to that. But it's just the nuance of this calendar. Another nuance there, you'll notice spring break is the last full week of March, and then we have Good Friday holiday off on April the 3rd. So again, for those of you that have been in the school business and you say, well, why don't you just move spring break one more week? If you've been in the schools, you know why we don't push it another week. There's a lot that can go on when everyone gets stressed and they're waiting for that break. So the committee really felt like it was important to keep spring break where it is in March rather than push it one more week. So as you look over that, are there any questions that you have on the makeup of that calendar?
It kind of follows suit.
It does.
You know,
It does. You know, the typical 2 weeks at Christmas break, whereas in this particular calendar, if you'll notice, there are 2 full weeks off. There have been the last few years, including this one. I think we may have a PD day and a teacher work day sandwiched in there the first part of January to close out those 2 weeks. But this would be 2 full weeks with basically a weekend on either end and a weekend in between, which is really, really important to teachers when you talk to them about having all of that time off consecutively. So.
and really testing kind of controls so much of that. I know just
It
having to
does.
get 2 sessions in, so.
Yeah, and that's always a conversation about why do you start so early?
Yeah.
And we have that conversations about testing.
Yeah, all right. So any more questions, comments? The item is to approve the 2025-2026 school calendar. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? And there are none. Last item, we'll group these together. Approve first reading of proposed revisions of board policies 1.105, school board legislative involvement, 1.701, school district planning, and 4.603, promotion and retention. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
So move, and a second.
Second.
Second, all right.
Okay,
Mr.
all three of these policies were brought to our attention by TSBA. Being a part of that organization is they continuously do policy reviews, and they brought these 3 policies to our attention that we may want to consider modifying. The first one, 1.105, school board legislative involvement. Really, the only change there is they've changed the title of the person that's appointed by the board, which is Ms. Schaff that you've appointed, and she is the legislative liaison. So this is just language cleanup so that this policy refers to just that title, the legislative liaison. So that's 1.105. Does anyone have a question on that one? Okay, on 1.701 school district planning, if you remember last month, as a board, you approved the TISA accountability report. We had a discussion about that and the goals that we had included in that. This policy now brings the district planning that we're required to do each year, and the TISA accountability report, I think, even made allusion to last week. I alluded to the fact that the state wanted to line these up. So this is exactly what that policy does. It puts in board policy that these 2 will essentially become one moving forward. So that's the only change in that plan. Question on that one? The last one is promotion and retention, and obviously that's certainly been a topic when you think about third and fourth grade, but this particular change talks about the appeals process that must be in place for students that may be considered for being retained. And that appeals process is outlined on page 4 of 5. If you see there, it's highlighted in yellow. We've not had that policy, we've not had this section in the policy in the past, but again, new code requires that we have an appeals process that's there. We had a little bit different language on that same page when it talked about the attendance rate, actually on page 4 and back on page 3 where it talks about third grade and the attendance requirement. If a student is required to attend summer school, the 90%. And so we're going back to the language that the state has included in that policy from language that we had drafted last year. But it still says the same thing, we're just using their language instead. Question on that one?
Thank you, Mr. Van Huss. The motion is to approve first reading of proposed revisions of board policies 1.105, school board legislative involvement, 1.701, school district planning, and 4.603, promotion and retention. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? And there are none. Please be reminded the next board meeting will be on Tuesday, December the 19th. I think last student day is that Wednesday, so to try to keep people while they're on that schedule and not hold them back from maybe heading out somewhere, it will be on Tuesday the 19th at 5:30 here. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Have a good evening.